today we live in a society where things are made very easy and simple for all of us. There are things such as escalators, automatic garage doors, power tools, escalators, and among others. These things are made to have a time-saving, energy-saving, and convenient society. Although people are grateful for all these things, I personally think that they are affecting our health and our well-being. Today I want to urge for you all to start exercising or continue exercising. Based on the research I have done on exercising and my own personal experience, I feel like I have enough knowledge to try to convince you all to start exercising. This information can be useful to all of you by knowing the effects that exercise has on your body and as well as your physical mind. In this speech, I will take you through the problems of not exercising, how to start exercising, and the effects it has on your physical and mental health. Americans live an active yet comfortable society, but that is affecting their lives. People are watching too much TV. In an article by the New York Daily News, there was a research done, and it showed that an average American watches about 5 hours of television a day. And that is really bad because it represents almost a third of our day we spend watching TV, assuming we are up for at least 15 hours. And in a quote by William Nates, a pediatrician at Tufts University School of Medicine, he says, the easiest way to reduce inactivity is to turn on the TV set. And I agree, because by turning on the TV, people are going to have to find ways to get rid of their boredom or have to try to put entertainment in their lives. So when you combine the inactivity and lack of exercise, combine that with our bad eating habits, you have a recipe for disaster. The typical American diet is high in calories, high in sugars, high in fats and high in saturated fats, and it lacks the right amounts of fruit, vegetables, calcium, and many other vitamins. Obesity rates in America are skyrocketing. About 2/3 of the average American is either overweight or obese. And in children, one in 3 are overweight and obese. And about 667,000 deaths occur due to nutrition or health-related diseases. Although working out can be such a hassle, it is very simple. You could just start with a simple goal such as, oh, today I'll go on a 10-minute walk, and then slowly increase the intensity and time each week as you get in rhythm. Also, the CDC states that any mix of aerobic and or strength exercising for about 4 to 5 days a week for about 30 to 60 minutes can help you and your body a lot by reducing the fat and body weight of your body. Exercising, like I said before, doesn't have to be boring. You can make it fun. Listen to music, and or get with a buddy. The National Academy of Sports Medicine states that the lyrics and beat of your music can affect how fun your workout is, and affect the intensity by how you synchronize that with your workouts. And having a buddy also helps you because you guys can challenge each other, accompany each other, and just the camaraderie in exercising helps bring the best in people. And finally, the effects it has on your physical health. Exercising helps you get a better body image, helps you lose weight, helps improve your self-esteem. And now for your mental health, it helps reduce stress by releasing endorphins in the brain, and helps relax muscles and tension in the body to help you get rid of every stress and feel good. and it helps fight depression by promoting changes in the brain and promotes feelings of well-being and feeling calmness. In conclusion, exercising does not have to be boring. You can make it fun by going with a buddy and or listening to music. The effects on your physical and mental health are very greatly and helps improve your health very much. Being inactive and eating bad is the recipe for disaster. Do not exercise and eat healthy, and you will not have to go through these diseases. And lastly, since the body and mind are so closely related, keep in mind that when your body feels good, so does your mind. Thank you.
All right, Stephen, what did you think?
Well, I like the subject. You kind of got lost a few times up there, but I thought it was pretty smart that you had your note cards just in case. It's disappointing you had to use them, but it's good that you had them, so you didn't have to run back to your desk or anything. And for the second one you did about the physical, you didn't really transition into like the mental very well. You just kind of went, that's physical, mental. I thought that could have been done smoother. And you seemed a little nervous up there. You kept looking like at the desk where no one was instead of making eye contact with like the 7 people that are here. But that's about it.
All right. No, I thought the opening was pretty solid. I like the attention device where you're talking about all the conveniences that kind of keep us from doing the sorts of exercise or give us the activity that we need to have. I thought that was a solid setup of what your goal was for the speech, and I thought that there was a pretty good preview of the supporting structure. I do think maybe your second and third points ought to be inverted a little bit, so maybe you could talk about the benefits after you've talked about some of the solutions. That might work a little bit more effectively, but it wasn't a problem. It was just like maybe it would have a more greater influence on us as a selling point, kind of following up on that final pitch. I did think that you needed a little bit more information on that third point because there's a lot of benefits that you list and you just say that you're going to get them, and I need a little bit of demonstration that that's going to be the case, especially if you're asking people to do something and act. I think you've got a good motive. I mean, this is a good subject. This is one of those things that people need to do, and but getting motivated is hard to do. And you're trying to convince them, get up and do something, and show us how we feel better. Well, is there any evidence of that? Tell us a story about yourself, for instance, and how that had benefited you. Look at some statistical information and show how. In the long run, people who are more active, who lost a little bit of weight, they are higher on happiness scales, or they are more relaxed, or they have less stress. I mean, you just kind of say all those things happen, and probably they do, but you need to sell it a little bit more. So I thought that was the only section that I thought needed a little bit more. I did think that you did a nice job on the section where you're trying to convince people to do something, making it... giving us a way to ease into this. Look, you can do a little bit at a time. You don't, with 30 to 50 minutes a day of just some moderate activity. And I like the music material that you had there too, selling that also. I think that that's going to be a lot more motivational for a lot of people, talking about how they can sync up their music with their activity, and it's going to benefit them in some way. That sells that idea a little bit more, and I thought that worked pretty well. I think your delivery on this was better than it's been in a lot of the speeches. You were much more engaged. Your voice is more active. I do know that you got stuck at the one point, but I thought you were doing a pretty good job, and you seemed a lot more engaged with the audience during the presentation. And even when you had to go to your notes, I appreciated the fact that you just went to the notes to remind yourself of one thing, and then you started talking to us again. If you have notes, that's exactly the way it ought to be, instead of going to the notes and just reading. And that's one of the things that I think was different about your presentation this time. You came across like you were more engaged on this, like this is something that you're interested in and you want us to relate to a little bit better, and I appreciated that. I think your gestures are a little bit limited a couple of times. In the last half of the presentation, you've got your arms behind your back, so that looks a little bit awkward. But other than that, I thought, like I said, this is probably one of your better delivery presentations. All right, thank you.